Hey everybody, this your girl Kayla LaGrace from Real Talks with Kayla, and we are about to get the show on a road. If you do not mind, ready to join with me with an awesome special guest that is taking time out of her busy schedule to sit down with me. Hey, make sure you go down here below, click that link, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Even though we're going live, but it will not stay on my Facebook Live, but all the episodes will be on my YouTube channel. So go over to my YouTube channel, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you there. It's gonna start in a few minutes, right after these announcements in the countdown. So stick around, and we're gonna be right back with you.
So this new project that I've been working on that I'm so thankful to have been presented by the city of Orlando is an amazing experience, because this was the room that I served for 2 years. Students, we did Bible studies in this room. We led children to Christ, and I remember a time where I was like, oh no, this is not what I want to do. This is not it for me. But God was just like, be faithful, be a good steward, be obedient, and I promise you I'm going to bless you. And to have the opportunity to now serve students in the same room that I served, and been offered a contract to do it by the city of Orlando is amazing.
We learned a lot of stuff about cooking. Maybe when I grow up, like when I'm like a teenager or something, I'll start cooking for my mom, so my mom wouldn't have to get up every morning and night to cook for me.
So when I was in high school, I was so rebellious. I didn't listen to my teachers, but it literally took one person to make a difference in my life. And I remember that person was Miss Michelle. She was the example for me, and she gave me hope, and she gave me purpose. And she was my starting pathway to get me to where I am today. And so these kids may not see an example every day. They are controlled by social media, and if I can come into a class, teach them for an hour, and show them that, hey, like, it's possible for someone of their color, someone of their ethnicity to do it, they can do it too. And so it's just being the example, leading by example, and being the light for these kids.
Hey everybody, this is Kayla. Thank you for joining me this evening for Real Talks with Kayla. As you can see, my special guest is Jasmine. Thank you so much for coming in your busy schedule to sit down and talk with me for this show. So we're gonna go ahead and get started, okay? So we're gonna start off with a quick little game, just to get her blood flowing, and then we're gonna get to the real questions of what y'all really here for, okay? First, introduce yourself before we start. Yeah. Sorry.
My name is Jasmine Wheeler. I reside in Orlando, Florida. You may have known me from United Dynasty and Grandma's Apron, 2 businesses that I do own, and I'm excited to be here.
Like I said, we're gonna start off with some fun questions. Number 1, what is your favorite thing to do for fun?
Okay, so I'm a grandma naturally, so
I can.
when I'm not, working and things like that, I love traveling. I love going to different places for inspiration for food.
Okay.
And then if I'm not traveling, I enjoy being at home, in the house.
Just sitting,
just watching,
not being in
chilling,
everybody present.
relaxing.
Okay.
I'm not an outdoor person. I don't like that.
You like okay. All right. So with that being said, you said you like to travel to eat. So what is your favorite food to eat?
My favorite food to eat is seafood. I love seafood.
Me too.
Salmon, snapper, shrimp, lobster.
Come on. So what animal, if it was to come by you right now, you would be scared of?
All of them.
All animals, Jasmine? Not even a dog?
I don't do dogs.
Oh.
I don't do dogs. I'm terrified
God.
of dogs because when I was 9, I had got attacked by a dog.
Ooh.
And I wasn't originally scared of animals, but you know when you're at somebody's house?
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, my dog don't bite. And then when she walked away, like the dog attacked me. So like I've had like fears of dogs ever since.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Mm-mm-mm.
Yeah.
I love dogs. I'm a dog. It's snakes for me.
The snakes.
Snakes. And if a spider come here right now, we out of here.
Oh Lord.
Pack everything and let's go. I don't do spiders and I don't do snakes. Okay, watch the people that's behind me. Okay.
Period.
What is your dream vacation that you haven't went to already? Because we know you travel, so that you would love to go to.
Honestly, I went on my dream vacations this year. I went to Dubai and I went to Africa. So those are my dream vacations. But I want to say for next year, if I had to go to a dream place, it would probably be Paris.
Now to the good stuff. Where you were born. Tell a little about yourself here and why you moved to Florida.
So originally I'm from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I moved here with my family when I was 9 years old. My parents are pastors. Well, my mom's a pastor, my dad's a bishop. And we relocated here so my father could start his ministry down here. And we've been here ever since.
You said that you are a pastor's kid. So for many people that's out there that might want to know and can relate, that can't relate, let me know how is it being a pastor's kid, growing up being a pastor's kid?
So growing up being a pastor's kid, it was fun. I can attest to that. It was very, very fun. Only thing I did not like is the people put like boundaries on you, and people have this thing where like, oh, preacher's kids are the worst ones, or you're not supposed to do that because you're a preacher's kid. I'm like, we at the same place.
Exactly.
So what's wrong?
Yeah.
So growing up, it was. I could attest, it was fun. We got to travel a lot, so I think that's why I enjoy traveling. But then being an adult, kind of coming out of my parents' name. So I was like, oh, that's Bishop Wheeler's daughter. Oh, that's Pastor Sam's daughter. It was like, my name is Jasmine.
Yeah.
So,
trust me, I get it.
I think being an adult, I've been able to create a name for myself other than, oh, that's such and such daughter, or that's such and such. But even today, I still get, people say, oh, maybe you shouldn't do that, maybe you should do that. It's like,
it's the judgment.
Yes, it's the judgment.
And the people put like, because I know, like, I'm not a preacher's kid, but like my dad is very involved into church, and it was like, oh, you're not living up to this, or trying to, so I'm like, I don't have to, you know what I'm saying? I'm my own person, and I feel like, just being in that establishment helped me to learn who God was, but at the same time, I really didn't know who God was until I went through what I had to go through to know who He was in my life. So thank you so much for answering that.
One thing I can say.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think another thing that helped was, or one thing that bothered me being a preacher's kid was, I grew up with trust issues because people would come to the church. And it's like, what can we get from a bishop pastor? It's like they'll join the church just to be like, oh, well, I need the funeral to be here, or I need my rent paid. And like, yes, the church is supposed to give, but you're not supposed to take advantage as well. And so I seen that when people got what they wanted, they left, and it was just like, it just didn't sit well in my heart. And so now I have like this thing, being an adult now, it's like, are you in my life, or do you want to be in my life intentionally, or are you trying to see what you can get from me? And so I think growing up with that was just kind of like the difficult part about being a preacher's kid.
Wow. Yeah. What did you want to be when you finished school, or when you were in school? What were you thinking about?
So when I graduated high school, I was originally going to school to be an accountant. I love numbers, I love money, I loved, math problems, and so I always wanted to be an accountant. Thought I was gonna be like a teller at a bank,
A teller at a bank?
Yeah, I thought I wanted to be a teller.
Okay.
And so I went to Valencia for 2 years, and then I started to realize I was like, I'm just not being fulfilled. And so the Lord had told me to change my major to theology and biblical studies. And so I changed my major, and I started volunteering with students, and I got my purpose out of, changing my major.
Okay. I know you started your mentorship, United Dynasty, in your church. And how did that come about? Like, you started that?
So growing up preacher's kid. There's not a lot of safe places that you can go to. And so it was difficult for me to open up to people because I was taught whatever goes on in this house stays in this house. And so when I was about 18 years old, that's when I kind of like started to feel like my rebellious stages. Yeah. I knew what it was like to be silent with having so much to say and so much to be bottled up. And so that's when I started volunteering in like a youth ministry and being a youth leader, and just being intentional in kids' lives and students' lives. And so I started United Dynasty due to the fact that our generation in the world is always about competition. So it's like, oh, I can outdo you, or my business is better than yours, or, you know, it's always been a competition. And God teaches us about unity. And so United Dynasty came in where it's like, I want to unite like-minded individuals together, young or old. That's a dynasty, that is a leaders of power that God teaches us to be.
Wow, that name, like that name to me, I would have never thought of something like that. The way you explained that, like I wanted to know the meaning behind like the name, and the way you explained that was spot on. So with that being said, I know you moved to Texas. So how did that even go about, like moving to Texas and your intern?
So I was still volunteering with the students, and at the time when I was volunteering and being a youth leader, I was not getting paid. And so literally I would take off every summer to go to summer camps to teach kids about the Lord. And so my dad was like, you know, he was in this Pastor's Connect with Joel Osteen, and he was like, Joel Osteen has an internship program. You should sign up. And I'm like,
what's the chance?
I'm not about to get
right. Joel Osteen, like
I'm not about to do that. And so it was 300 people that applied, and I prayed on it. I sowed a seed for it. I fasted for it, and it was like 3 months. I was like, I ain't get it. No, I ain't get it. And so I was literally at the summer camp with the children, and I got the email saying that I got accepted. Out of the 300 people that applied, I was one of the 25 people that got accepted. And so the process was long. I did 2 interviews. I had to write an essay. It was a lot.
Wow.
But I was there for 10 months, and it was probably one of the greatest experiences I've ever had before, because I got to see ministry at large.
Okay.
You're seeing 70,000 members every Sunday, and you get to see the behind the scenes work of actual ministry. And so that's how it came about.
So like, what was your challenge on like leaving home and like, or were you like?
I was ready.
You were ready.
You were ready. Yeah, I was ready. I think one of my biggest challenges was I was in a relationship at the time, so I was like, I don't really want to leave. Yeah. But other than that, I had no issues. And then when I got there, it was my dad had went with me, and it was very scary because I never lived alone. I've never been alone before, and so I think the first 2 weeks I was like, I was like, nah, I'm ready to go back. But I'm definitely glad that I stayed.
And what could you tell somebody that's like, you know, maybe want to venture off from their home or the comfort? They want to venture off from being from the comfort of like being home or whatever. And so like, what would you tell somebody that like is thinking about leaving but is fearful of leaving? What could you say?
What I would say, if you're fearful of leaving, God cannot stretch you if you do not get uncomfortable. I was so uncomfortable, and had I not taken advantage of the opportunity, I would not be in the positions that I am in today, because I was doing ministry, but I got to do interviews. I got to do Excel sheets. I got to meet so many I met every gospel artist you could probably think of side by side serving. And so if you want to be stretched, if you want to get uncomfortable, you're gonna have to push through it.
And also that waiting period, because also, you know, I want you to elaborate on the fact that she didn't get paid for this. she literally was a servant. The definition of a servant. You know, you didn't get not one check.
I got now.
For how long?
For 10 months, and I was there. Literally, I was at the church 5 days a week, sometimes 6 days a week, from 8 a.m. in the morning to probably 8 p.m. at night. And I was still a full-time student online for school, and I was working.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the faithfulness. You gotta stay faithful.
It's the servanthood for me.
You know, and being a servant, like, you know, you're, like I said, you're the perfect example for that. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that we met in high school. No. We met at church. And then she came to my high school, and at the time, that's why I always say to people, you know, you don't know who you may need or who may be in your walks of life in this journey of you living. And I would have never known that, you know, you would be to where you are now. I would have never known. I would have never known that even me and you would be sitting here right now. I mean, because it was never nothing like animosity or anything like that. But just, you know, that's why I say, like, you just never know who you never know who you might need to sit down and, or who testimony might do something to you. Because like I said, you just knowing where you are now from just everything that you said thus far, I'm just like, God, your word is your word. Literally. Okay, so we're going to take a break really quick, you guys. If you want to chime in, go ahead and leave some comments down below. Ask your questions. If we don't get to your question today, we will get back to you. And we're going to have her back. We're going to have her back. Come on now. We're going to have her back. So we're going to be with you in just a second. We're going to go ahead and do a little break, and then we'll be right back. All right, you guys, thank you for the little break. We are back. So to go back to what you were saying about your relationship, can you get into that about your relationship?
Good chat.
So yes, girl, take us through that journey, honey.
Okay,
please.
So
the hurt, the pain, all that.
When I was 19, I had met this guy, and it was like, you know, thinking a little child. And the relationship was not bad. I can't say it was not bad. We came from similar backgrounds because we were both preachers' kids. The clashing started to happen where come on. So this is the thing. So when it comes to relationships, I truly believe that a lot of people don't really understand covenant. And so I come from a family where I've seen my parents be married for 35 years. I've seen my grandparents be married for 65 years. Yeah. And I've seen everything and them work it out. Yeah. And so I believe that at the time where we did separate, after I did move back here to Orlando, it was no covenant. And so some people aren't willing to love you through every season. And during that season, I had just moved back. And now I have to readjust and restructure things when I just came from the largest church ever. And now I gotta come back. And there was like, it was hard for him to adjust to me after I was stretched, and it was hard for me to adjust to him after you know, he had still been here. And so after we went our separate ways, it took me an entire 2 years to heal. Wow. And for the first year, I did not date intentionally. I did not talk to a man. I did not go on dates with anyone just because I knew that it wouldn't be fair. Had I, you know, still been, you know, feeling the way that I did. And after I want to say about a year and a half in, I actually texted him. I thanked him for breaking up with me. Wow. Yeah, I thanked him for breaking up with me, because had it not done that, I would have still been stuck. And you know, when you first break up with somebody, it's like, oh, child, this is a lot. But I really believe that during that time of healing, I was able to depend on God for my strength, because I think a lot of people think, or a relationship is supposed to bring you wholeness, but
Yeah.
you're supposed to be whole by yourself.
Yeah.
And so the breakup helped. It was not easy at first, but it allowed me to push. And one thing that was birthed out of the breakup was purpose sessions.
Okay.
I started helping people with their goals out of a hurt place, but I was still doing it, and I was faithful in it, and I found enjoyment in it, and it allowed me to be distracted from the hurt and to still push through purpose. And so
that's what I was going to say, because I started this because I know God wanted me to start something like this through pain. I mean, you know, going through something, but also being able to listen to people's story.
Right.
That I was hoping within this, that it'll also do some healing within me that I don't even know. It's like, you know, we get to the point where we're hurt or whatever, and we're like, okay, well, for me, I was stuck. I'm like, well, what should I do? I want to stay in this pain. And most people want to stay and sit in your pain. But the fact that God brought purpose sessions through the pain that she endured with her ex. So like, you know, like, would you say that healed you? Like, no,
it didn't heal me. It was a part of my healing.
Okay.
What healed me was I literally, after the breakup, I probably spent the first hour of every day just praying.
Okay.
Like, identifying myself as a single woman again, or walking into adulthood, or becoming one person by myself. Because when you're in a relationship, it's like, all right, what you doing? Did you eat today? What are we doing tonight?
Right.
What are we doing this weekend? You with your family? All right, can I come over? It's like,
Yeah.
now it's like,
yeah.
what am I doing tonight?
Right.
What am I eating?
Right. Literally.
So, in that,
Yeah,
I felt like I started to redefine Jasmine as whole again. And so that's where I started traveling.
Okay.
And that's when I started doing the purpose sessions. And before this, before Grandma's Apron, started. And so it was a lot of things that had transpired afterwards, but it kept me busy to the point where I was distracted, so I wouldn't sit.
Yeah. Okay. So with that being said, how did you start with Grandma's Apron?
So, crazy story. So,
Okay.
it's not crazy. It's crazy to me now because it's
Yeah.
like, whoa. So, my grandmother passed away 2 years ago from heart failure. And so, us as African Americans, we're used to eating the fried chicken, hog maws, chitlins, you know, all that stuff. Well, I'm from Wisconsin.
Yeah, that's country. Okay.
I'm from Wisconsin.
Okay.
So, we grew up eating all this, you know,
Yeah.
great food, but it's unhealthy.
Right.
And so, when my grandma passed away, it really, really hurt me. I was like, dang. And so my grandmother was the one that, like, after Sunday service, we got catfish dinners in the back of the church. We got pound cake, all that.
Yeah.
And so I said that I wanted to continue my grandmother's legacy. And
Awesome.
originally, I just had the idea of just doing cooking videos. And so I would do these cooking videos every week, and it was just to teach people new recipes.
Yeah.
And then people will start asking, oh, so when can I get a plate? And I'm like, it's not for sale.
Right.
It's like, I'm just doing it for fun.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I seen somebody do a meal prep for somebody.
Okay.
One. The food looked horrible.
Oh man. don't say the name.
The food looked horrible. And I'm like,
man.
how the heck did he pay her to do
Yeah,
that
yeah.
for that? And I was like, I could do that.
Okay.
And so as the purpose session queen, they call me, I'm a strategist. And so I said, I'm gonna start meal prep.
Come on.
And so what I did was I marketed it for 4 weeks, and I did it for myself. I meal prepped solely for myself. And I said, this is what I'm eating this week, Literally, I got like 100 increase the first week. And I was like, all right, now it's time to start selling.
Come on.
And
Take off.
I think my first month, I know for sure, I mean, like,
Period.
Wow.
on meal prep. And I was like,
Wow.
what the heck?
Yeah.
And so for me, I've never had that much.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I've seen it, but I've never like tangibly held it. And I was like, I might be onto something.
Right.
I might be onto something. And so I just did meal prep. I did meal prep consistently for a year straight. And then people started asking me about dinners, and I'm like, I don't do dinners, but I'm not gonna say no to money. So
Right.
I'm gonna start doing dinners.
Yeah.
And I was like, then people started asking about cooking classes, and I was like, nope, no one started asking. I said I wanted to start cooking classes.
Yeah.
And I was like, it was January. Was it January 2019? January 2019. That's what I said. I'm gonna turn this into a business.
Okay.
And so I got all my proper licensing. I studied my craft for like 60 days just so that I could perfect certain things. I didn't know how to work a camera. I didn't know how to take pictures. I didn't know how to plate food, but I studied it. And so through that, I grew. It blew. And then this year, during COVID, my job had let me go, and I was so sad. I was so hurt because I love working with children.
Right.
But I was still working with Grandma's Apron, and God brought me back to something that I said when I got this job. I told God to bless me with a part-time job that pays me full-time so I can work my business.
Yeah.
But he didn't. He said I didn't finish the prayer to come off. And so after I was let go, God had his way. And so I started doing dinners. I did a lot. I've done a lot this year. And I actually tallied it up last night. I've cooked over 3,000 meal preps.
Wow.
I've done over 50 private dinners. And I've done 20 cooking classes this year.
Wow.
And I'm only my second year of business.
Wow.
And so when God gives you a push, you just go.
Yeah, I mean, that's a perfect example to do. You know, if God tells you, follow the way that God leads you. So, with that being said, how has it been being so young and, respectfully speaking, making more than many people I know? Okay, twice your age. Okay, with your dating life, your friendships, and family members.
How is it?
Yeah.
Um,
How has it been, like, making, more and being so busy, within, your dating life, your friendship, and also your family members?
So, honestly, it's this year when everything just kind of like, took off. It was hard to balance at first. And I always said, it was crazy because literally, Facebook gives you the memories.
Yeah.
2 years ago, one of the bishops, one of my dad's pastor friends, he prayed over me, and I posted it on Facebook, and it popped up today, and it said, what he said, get ready, because eyes have not seen, nor ears have not heard the many things that people are going to do for you because of your integrity and your servanthood. And so I always told my family, I was like, I'm famous, I'm And then now it's like, all right, everywhere I go, somebody know me, and I'm like, all right, I don't want to be famous no more.
You asked for
I don't want it no more. Because it's like all the attention is now on you.
Yeah.
And so, of course, I'm not no celebrity or anything like that, but it's like my family treats me regular, but then on the outside, it's like, Jasmine, I love you, I can marry you. And then on my parents' side, they're like, Jasmine, you get on my last nerves, shut up, stop talking. And so, I would say balance, knowing how to balance everything. And I cut off boundaries for myself when it comes to my business. I now have business hours. I don't talk to anyone before 9 o'clock, past 5 p.m. I'm off on Sundays and Tuesdays because I solely spend that time with my family, my friends, relaxing, doing what it is that I need to do. And so it's all about balance. And it's still hard, but I'm making it.
Yeah. So far as friends, how has that been? How has that been since, because I know you don't have the same friends you started with. That's, that's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
So I know God revealed some things to you. So can you elaborate on that?
So when you start making money,
Come on.
people start feeling entitled. People start acting different. People start treating you different, and people make you feel as though you owe them something. And so, the thing with me is, I've done a lot of purpose sessions, and I will sit down with absolutely anybody. And, you know, I do charge for the purpose session, but I've never charged like my family or close friends. And one thing that the Lord has revealed this year is everybody can't go. And it was probably during the middle of this year I started to feel like people started to like treat me different. Like treated me funny. And for me, I'm a regular person, okay? Like I'm a regular person. And and so it's like, you can see the money, but you don't see the money that's being invested back into it. It's like, I'm not an ATM machine. I'm there for you, but I can teach you how to get it too. And so people start treating you different, and gotta learn to love and release. That's what my 2 words have been this year: love and release. And you release them, and you love them, and you keep it moving.
And also, like with people with businesses, can you explain to them how important it is when you do make money to put that money back into your business?
So I've had my business for 2 years, but I didn't start making money until this year. And so the first year and a half, I didn't touch any of the money. I just put it back into the business. When it comes to supplies, when it comes to marketing, when it comes to different things that you need, you have to put it back into the business, because when you just start spending, you feel like, well, dang, where's my money at? And then another important thing is taxes. You have to make sure that you do the proper taxes. Make sure you're writing yourself checks. Make sure that you're actually charging taxes. You know, certain things of that different avenue. But it's very important to put money back into your business so that way you can reap a harvest.
Okay, so how important is it to put God first? Seek Him in everything you do in your business and pay your tithes. Amen?
Amen.
Okay. How important? Well, how would you tell somebody with a business, especially who's serving God, like how important it is to seek Him first and also paying your tithes?
When it comes to seeking, I don't make any decision without consulting the Lord first. Like if I want to launch a new product, I'm gonna pray about it first. If I need to offer a new service, I'm gonna pray to the Lord about it. And it sounds spiritual, but at the end of the day, you can't get mad at God, or you can't be discouraged when it doesn't happen. And so the Bible teaches us there's a time and season for all things. And so maybe it may not be your season to start that. Maybe it may not be your season to launch that, but you have to go in prayer and seek God to receive discernment as to if you should go or pause, go or plan. You know, certain things you have to properly prepare yourself for. When people don't properly prepare themselves, then they start getting discouraged. As far as tithing comes, I was taught tithing when I was 3 years old. I was always taught you give the 10% back because it does not go to you. It's not owed to you, it's owed to God. And so it's like tithing is a touchy subject when it comes to people. But at the end of the day, people think that the tithes is going to the church, the tithes is going to the pastor. It don't matter where your tithes. The Bible, the Lord teaches us to give the tithe. People are like, oh, I can give it to the homeless. Give to the storehouse. The storehouse is the temple of the Lord. And so if you come to church and ain't no lights on, it's probably because you ain't paying. Come on, somebody. Come on. You know, pastors and not to go off topic, but pastors, sometimes this is their only, income, and they pour every single week. I see my father literally sitting at the dinner table. That's where he, that's where he studies. Sitting at the dinner table every day just to give a word on Wednesday for Bible study, just to give a word on Sunday faithfully. And the church, the first person you call when you go through something. Right. But you ain't paying your tithes. But that's not my business.
Period.
Because I know, like, the reason why I wanted you to elaborate on that is because I know, like, you stand really big on that, like on tithing. And I know you were saying on your page one day that you wanted to give like one of the biggest, you wanted to be like the biggest tither in your church, and you made that happen.
Yeah, I'm one of the largest tithers in my church.
Yeah.
It's
wow.
Yeah. It's honorable.
Yeah.
Because it's like you see where God takes you. Your tithe is a representation of what you make. And so at the beginning of the year, I can see an increase from my tithe at the beginning of the year to currently now. But it's all God. And so when God continues to increase you, you have to give back.
Yeah. So how is it having a business and a team? Like who is behind you in this?
I'm behind me. I'm behind me.
But did it start off like that? Like
No.
eventually having a...
Yeah, so when it comes to having a team, it's amazing to have help, but it's also amazing for you to have a team that understands the vision properly. Because when people don't understand the vision properly, it's like, well, I'm just doing this for a check.
Yeah.
I'm just doing this for money. It's like, no. My slogan for my business is called Breaking Generational Curses Through Better Eating Habits. And so all things are made with organic produce, fresh ingredients. Nothing's frozen, nothing's processed, nothing from a can, because that's how we live longer.
Right.
And so every day I wake up, it's like, okay, if I don't want to cook today, I'm saving somebody's life right now. I have a lot of clients that are diabetics. I have a lot of clients that, just regular 9-to-5ers, but I have a lot of clients that have a lot of health issues. And for me to get up and to work to make sure that their health is in order, that's big for me. And so, I think one thing with my team, I'm very grateful for them, because we can have a lot of fun, but we also have to know work when work is done. And for me, having a team this year, it has been very, very difficult, because if you know me, I'm like super hype, super goofy, but when people see me this is work, it's like, whoa.
Who is this? The boss has entered the room.
And for me, I never call myself, I'm the boss, or I'm the CEO of this. It's like we all work as a team because we work together, and it all goes back to United Dynasty, working in unity. So
okay, wow. So how are them kids? Like, I know, what is the days? Because if I have anybody, are you accepting kids now, like to come in for your mentorship?
No, I select the children. So it's for 10 months. This year, 10 months. So we regular school schedule. And they're great kids. And what I tell them, what I tell the parents is, I'm going to teach your children something that the schools will not. The schools are not going to teach them about credit. The schools are not going to teach them about saving and budgeting. The school's not going to teach them about leadership. The school's not going to teach them about entrepreneurship, how to make your own money, how to flip money. And so how to be proactive in goal setting. And so the pi theorem or whatever they teach
they teach you a whole bunch of stuff
we didn't use.
Right.
Proper life skills. And so my commitments to parents is, when they graduate high school, they're going to know. I have a 14-year-old right now that knows how to use a credit card, what percentages. And so that's what I teach the kids.
Wow, that's great. As of today, what services do you provide, and how can someone contact you? And we're going to list this all below, but go ahead and just explain that.
The services that I provide with Grandma's Apron is meal prep, which consists of keto, high-calorie, pescatarian, and coming soon next year, vegan.
Come on,
and I also offer cooking classes, either for couples or for large groups. Okay. And I also do private dinings, which is a in-home private chef experience where it brings families back to the dinner table.
And how can they contact you?
Yep, you can contact me by Grandma's Apron on all social media platforms, Facebook and Instagram, and also my website, grandmasapron.co.
Okay. And what encouraging words can you leave our audience with?
Encouraging words in regards to either business, like you said, faith, and trusting God, through your process, and letting God do, His works to lead you. The faith walk is not easy.
Yeah.
And people think that when you come into Christ, it's going to be all peaches and cream. It's actually worse.
Come on.
Because you have to fight your flesh daily.
Yes.
You have to
kill it daily.
Cast out spirits. You have to walk in love when people treat you wrong. But as long as you know that you have a great heart, you have pure intentions, allow the Lord to lead you, guide you, walk with you, and do not let go of your faith. God says you have to have faith the size of a mustard seed. If that's all you got left, you've done enough.
Oh my goodness. This was amazing. I think it was necessary to have you here. And I'm so glad because, you know, this one, listen, okay? I'm her hairstylist, okay? She sits in my office, okay, getting her hair done, answering people. That's how you know this woman is about her business. She's about what she does, and she does it professionally. If you want her, like she said, all the information will be below and also on the screen. Thank you so much for spending your time.
Not a problem.
I know you be so busy, but thank you so much. And we're gonna have you close out with a prayer.
Okay. Dear Jesus, thank you for today. Thank you for this conversation. God, I pray that whoever hears it, whoever listens, God, I pray that they receive something. God, as we close out this 2020, I pray that everyone closes it out strong. God, fighting, God, persevering through the mark. God, I pray that you continue to give us more strength, more wisdom, more knowledge, more understanding, and give us a clear vision for what's to come for the next year. God, I pray that we close out this year with more abundance, more prosperity, more clarity. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen, girl. Give me a hug. Yes. Love it. Thank you so much. Wasn't that awesome? Listen, thank you so much for joining in to this series. I pray that you guys like this. I thank God for allowing me to have a vision like this, to be able to sit down with other entrepreneurs, not even entrepreneurs, but real life people, to experience what they went through. If you want to be a part of this show, all you have to do is click the links down below and or DM me on my Facebook, so that way you can star in the next TV showing that I have. So if you are interested, like I said, go ahead, go down and follow this link down here, my Facebook. And when you click down here and type in this name, DM me and send me a message. I would love to have you on my show. Bye-bye. God bless you. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you next time.